After viewings 3 and 4 at a Cinebarre movie theater, my thoughts on F1 the movie. So today is Monday, 21 July 2025. I am Tanis, she, her, hers of Seattle, and I provide my thoughts on F1 the movie after seeing it 4 times in a Cinebarre movie theater, Regal Cinebarre Mountlake. The third showing was an 11:05 a.m. showing in the English language without English captions slash subtitles on screen on Tuesday, 15 July 2025, for which my snack was an order of fried cheese curds with marinara sauce. The fourth showing was an 11:10 a.m. showing in the English language without English captions slash subtitles on screen on Wednesday, 16 July 2025, for which my snack was a Cobb salad with honey mustard dressing and without avocado. And I'll provide in the video description a sentence with the kind of same information for viewings 1 and 2, which I have previously covered in a kind of reflection video as well. So I'm not going to cover those. I'm going to cover viewings 3 and 4. So notes on the movie. So the long-tailed weasel, Mostella Frenata, came to see me in person on one of the days of my viewings and told me they liked it. They want to go to the Cinebarre along with the squirrels. Yes, it got Mostella Frenata approval. Movie plot, try again. Okay, so let me see if I can come up with some coherent, bigger picture. The movie is about the life cycle of a Formula One race car driver captured all at once through different characters at different stages of their career. So, and different people within the Formula One race car kind of sporting arena. But so there's like a character, Joshua Pierce, who's kind of the young guy. There's Sonny Hayes, who's the guy who was previously the young guy, got in a car crash and stepped away for 30 years and is coming back. And then there's Ruben Cervantes, who was a former race car driver, but didn't step away from the sport, but did step away from race car driving and decided to go the ownership pathway. And so has this car club, racing club, and racing team. And it's not doing so well, so then he goes to ask, his friend, Sonny Hayes, will you help me out here and be one of our drivers? So in that sense, it's kind of like, it does that. They have a technical director as one of the characters. They show kind of different people on the pit crew team and stuff like that. So it does a good job of trying to capture different elements of the Formula One race car, car racing, as well as if one is a driver, what might that look like at different stages in the career, but also then different career trajectories, so to speak, or what it might be like, that kind of thing. Okay, so I think I think that's better than before. The best movie trailer in advance of the movie starting that played all 4 times was Kiss of the Spider Woman, starring Jennifer Lopez. I did see there were other trailers that were there all 4 times, including one for the Fantastic Four First Steps, which has, I don't know his name, but he's the guy from Kingsman, I think he's the Golden Circle, who had the lasso. Don't know the guy's name, but he's got one heck of a facial recognition in this brain of mine. All right, Cinebarre notes. So Cinebarre note, it replaced the movie theater I went to growing up called Mountlake 9. So before Regal Cinebarre, it was Mountlake 9, which I can't, was that also Regal? I don't remember. And 9 features prominently in the movie, and I'm watching them and been like, since you have so many soulmates in this movie, Tanis, that are yours, we're going to do 9 because that's meaningful in your sporting career, but it's also Mountlake 9 where you went to movies a bunch growing up, the number of the movie theater. Okay. So I was now it's age gated, 21 and above, but back in the day when I was growing up, it wasn't an age gated theater. A note on overflow seating. So overflow seating guests for the morning showings, that kind of comes from if they sell out at evening showings, they can direct people who might not get into morning showings like the following morning, if you don't mind, or the following evening, but it's an overflow seating kind of business model. I have actually worked with overflow seating. I worked as a professional development liaison on the graduate division at the University of California, Berkeley when I was a graduate student in mineral physics, geophysics, and one of the projects I worked on was called Grad Slam, where graduate students presented their research in 3 minutes or less from like open to all departments on campus. So there was like archaeology, there was chemistry, there was engineering, that kind of stuff, and we had overflow seating at the campus-wide one competition, like the final competition. So I've actually, yeah, it's come up in my own work experience. So it's not random or something I read online. Okay, budget for my Brad Pitt. The budget was 402 United States of America dollars. I was under budget by over $300 United States of America. The tickets, so what did that buy? Tickets, 2 times matinee food, which included cheese curds with marinara sauce and a Cobb salad without avocado and with honey mustard dressing, 2 water servings cups, and then 1 soundtrack song purchased via iTunes during the movie. So that's what I've bought other stuff since then with the budget, but like for the movie, like in theater stuff, that's that. Parking / transportation. I found a parking spot where I wanted a parking spot for each viewing, and F1 was still on the list of movies on the front of the theater, so that was very cool. Tickets, Cinebarre Park. So I got my choice pick for both showings. I got Auditorium 8. Oh wait, that's a later part. They did check my ID. It's 21 and over, so they do check ID at entry. It's enforced strongly. Viewings, I did not go pee for the duration of the movie plus ads starting at showing time. About 30 minutes of ads per showing, so that was over 3 hours that I didn't go pee, even with the food and beverage. I did pretty good. So the total time there is 6 hours of in-person spectation. I went solo. iPhone charging problem, which is iPhone charge holding problem, to work on the terminology. From my Lewis Hamilton, I kept it through the showing, so he was there with me in charge holding problem for him. Theaters, it was the same. Theater auditorium number 8 for both showings. I do have my ticket stubs, yes. And then snacks, I've already said my snacks. I liked both. They only had fried food and like candy and popcorn and stuff for the Tuesday showing, so I couldn't get the Cobb salad. But so I got it the next day. Went back and got it the next day. The cheese curds were good, and the Cobb salad was good. I've been pleased with all of my purchases in the food category. But there was I learned it is fresh food, so part of that to keep in mind, and like if I go back is they were getting a new shipment of food, so I couldn't get the salad. So it was just like there we go. And then YouTubing, I did YouTube viewings 3 and 4, like parts of the process, as well as viewings 1 and 2 before. But I branched out a little this time to try and incorporate like different key moments, like getting water, or like how do I order, or like the food itself. So, which I did before with the junior mints, but I didn't do with the cheese curds from like the second viewing. So I tried to figure out what I might, if I go again, what might I do. Like getting water and finding a seat might be a staple. Showing the food might be a staple. And then a movie notes recap might be a staple. That kind of thing. So that's on after viewings 3 and 4 at a Cinebarre movie theater. My thoughts on F1 the movie.